At 35,000 feet, the air around an airliner can look completely calm. There may be nothing ahead that warns the passengers what is coming. Then, without warning, the aircraft is hit by turbulence. The cabin shakes, the wings flex, the aircraft suddenly rises, drops, and rolls. To a passenger, it can feel like the plane is being thrown through the sky. But here's the question: how dangerous can turbulence actually become? And when the air gets violent enough, can it really threaten an airliner? Turbulence isn't the air simply disappearing beneath the aircraft. It's the atmosphere itself moving in ways the airplane wasn't expecting. Different pockets of air can be moving up, down, or sideways, sometimes at very different speeds. As the aircraft flies through them, its wings suddenly encounter changing airflow. That changes the forces acting on the aircraft, causing it to pitch, roll, or rise and fall. And the stronger those changes become, the greater the forces the aircraft has to absorb. So the real question isn't whether turbulence moves the airplane. It does. The question is, how much can an airliner actually take? When turbulence hits, the wings don't behave like rigid pieces of metal. They flex, and that's exactly what engineers want them to do. Every airliner is designed to withstand enormous aerodynamic loads, far beyond what passengers normally experience. During certification, engineers deliberately push aircraft structures far beyond their expected operating conditions. Wings are loaded, bent, and stressed to prove that they can survive forces far greater than those encountered in normal flight. So when you look out of the window and see the wing moving during turbulence, it isn't necessarily a warning sign. It's the structure doing what it was designed to do. But there is a limit, and that's where turbulence becomes much more serious. But turbulence isn't all the same. Light turbulence might barely move the aircraft. Moderate turbulence can make the ride uncomfortable and cause noticeable changes in altitude and airspeed. Severe turbulence is different. The aircraft can be thrown around violently, and objects inside the cabin can become dangerous projectiles. And at the extreme end, turbulence can become powerful enough to cause structural damage or make an aircraft temporarily uncontrollable. The biggest danger often comes when turbulence is associated with powerful thunderstorms, wind shear, and rapidly changing air currents. So yes, an airliner can take an enormous amount of punishment. But turbulence does have a limit. The most dangerous turbulence isn't usually a random patch of rough air. It can be associated with powerful weather systems, especially thunderstorms, where violent updrafts, downdrafts, and rapidly changing winds can exist within a very small area. And this is where turbulence stops being simply uncomfortable and becomes a serious aviation hazard. Aircraft are designed with enormous structural margins, but no aircraft is immune to every possible combination of aerodynamic forces. In extreme conditions, an aircraft can be thrown violently off its intended flight path, suffer structural damage, or lose control. That's why pilots don't try to prove how much turbulence an aircraft can survive. They try to avoid the worst of it altogether. So, can turbulence bring down an airplane? In extreme circumstances, it can become a serious hazard, but that's very different from the turbulence most passengers experience. Modern airliners are engineered with substantial structural margins. Their wings are designed to flex, and pilots are trained to avoid the most dangerous weather whenever possible. Weather radar, forecasting, air traffic information, and careful speed management all help keep aircraft away from the worst conditions. So the next time your flight hits turbulence, remember what is happening beneath you. The aircraft isn't fighting the air by accident. Every part of it has been engineered to deal with forces like these, and to keep flying.